Brought to you by SEDS Global Branding Private Limited and Deals Flow Franchising. Produced by Brand Trigger and Explorer Frame. In association with Capital One TV and Cloud Access. Ab Jeeto Bharat Ka Dil. Presenting the Great Indian Brands Show with Sudarshan R. Chitlu.
आपकी मंजिल कुछ भी हो, आपकी राह कुछ भी हो, आपकी इच्छा जो मर्जी हो, आप जहां भी पहुंचना चाहते हैं, whatever your dream, whatever your goal or the milestone in life you want to achieve, you need education for that. You know, आपको उसके लिए पढ़ना पड़ता है, उसको सीखना पड़ता है, experience लोगों से समझना पड़ता है. And in the words of Jack Ma, the difference that a mentor can bring to your life, a guru, a mentor, is unequaled, unparalleled. You know, अगर हम अपने शास्त्र को भी देखें, हम जो इतना इंस्पायर होते हैं कि अर्जुन ऐसा था या भीम वैसा था, you know, और या श्री राम को जिसने शिक्षा दी, तो वो सब मेंटर्स और गुरुज थे. A mentor is one thing who can hold your hand and actually guide you to the top of the Everest without actually being present over there. क्योंकि वो इतना इंस्पायर करते हैं आपको कि आपको लगता है कि कोई भी चैलेंज आपके सामने आएगा, you will simply cross that hurdle in a snap of your fingers. And with us we have Seema Vashishth, who is a pioneering name in the pageant industry. She has been training women for I don't know how many decades by now. उन्होंने बहुत लोगों को ट्रेन किया है, मेंटर किया है on how to walk on the ramp, on how to communicate from the ramp, and you know how to start believing in oneself. Because I think it's not just about walking or communicating, it's about the self-belief. और जो आपके अंदर विश्वास पैदा करता है, उससे बड़ा मेंटर कोई भी नहीं हो सकता. थैंक यू सो मच सीमा वशिष्ठ जी, आप यहाँ हमारे साथ आए. यू हियर विद अस एंड स्पेशली विद मी इट्स एन ऑनर. Thank you so much for being on this show.
All my pleasure, Sudarshan, and I'm really excited and happy to be with you.
No, I'm equally excited because see, I've worked with you 1 year ago also, and I've seen the kind of grace you bring to a beauty pageant, contest and to the entire industry in itself, and how people actually queue in front of your door to learn from you.
So it's interesting. And yes, you mentioned about the time we both spent together. Let me tell you, it was really, I could see the way you work, in fact. And what I believe in my life is each day you learn, each person you meet, you learn.
Basically, it's my privilege also, क्योंकि it's very important to tell आप क्या करते हैं industry में, and how you've actually, transformed yourself into this wonderful human being who is actually holding the hands of so many people. Not everybody gets a chance, because I think मेरे हिसाब से, I think the three noblest professions on the face of the earth. The first is being a teacher, the second is being a defense personnel, and the third is being a doctor. मेरे हिसाब से there is no comparison. मतलब in no order,
yes.
Basically, these three are the noblest professions that any human could go for. And you are a teacher, a mentor to so many. How does it feel?
I totally agree with you, Sudarshan. The three professions you've counted: a teacher, a defense personnel, and doctor. I think hats off to all the three professions, although we respect all the professions, right? So for me, if I talk about, it starts from if I talk about 30 years back. So this is something which I already thought, looking at my parents, the way they had groomed me. I always realized that I love talking to people. I love counseling children. I love teaching children. I'm talking about when I was in college. I love talking to my friends and telling them the way a problem should be solved, whether it is maths or something. So this was always there. And I think it is courtesy, my husband's profession, to be very frank, because he's in Air Force. So we realized that we have to move from one place to other.
Yeah.
So, and as the world knows, then the best thing or the best profession which goes with the family life is teaching.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about 30 years back. So I think that is the time when I thought, yes, this is the way, because I wanted to stay with my husband and not separate from him.
Absolutely.
So that is the reason I took it, to be very frank. And once I started, I realized that, oh my God, it gives you so much of satisfaction.
Yeah.
The feedback, it is like each and every day, and same time you get the feedback from children. So that is what it helped me to understand the kind of person I am, and I realized that yes, this is my calling. and this is the way I have to do it. So I have been teaching in various schools in various capacities. As a young girl, like a school teacher or a computer professor. And then I realized after a couple of years that my administration part is a little stronger. So then I was like vice principal and principal of various schools. And then eventually it was Gleam Diva, where I'm a coach here.
I was, the first time I heard about Seema Vashishth, I was like literally, okay, she's an ex-principal of such a popular school. And to be very honest, I was like, not that good a student at school. I was very good at what I did, but the entire way how children get intimidated by a teacher or a principal, I was in that kind of feeling when I first met you. But you come off as such a friendly human being. And I'm sure children would have really enjoyed their stint under your leadership.
No, I think I realized that I had, when you have a great team, that makes all the difference. So yes, leader is very important but if the leader has to do it, then the people can follow it. That's a leader. So I realized that I'm not the other kind. The way you're talking, I was not very strict with my teachers. I gave them all the space. But I think I had an excellent team, so I could do well. And my school also, I think my students of grade 11th and 12th, they got state rankings. So that gives you all the satisfaction.
Spoken like a true leader, because leadership is not about leading. Leadership is all about inspiring and building an aspiration in another individual that one day I would also love to lead my team. I think that is what you're talking about over here. और हमारी जो ये भारतवर्ष है, जो हमारा राष्ट्र है, इसकी जो नींव है, the DNA of this country is basically rests on two pillars. और वो स्तंभ अगर मैं बताऊं वो क्या है, तो पहला है त्याग और दूसरा है दान. और ये दोनों एक शिक्षक, एक गुरु की निशानी होती है. और ये गुरु के अंदर भी उतना ही होता है, उसका भी कंटेंट डीएनए स्ट्रक्चर ये होता है, बिकॉज अ टीचर सैक्रिफाइसेस सो मच. और विद्या देना, इवन इफ यू अर्न समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट, वो एक किस्म का दान ही होता है.
Very true, and I respect all the teachers across the globe. And let me tell you, maybe I will not be able to put it in correct perspective, but what I've seen teachers in my country, they work so hard.
Absolutely. I come from a family of teachers.
So you'll be knowing it. And no frowns. And I've seen all the teachers, whatever salary they're getting, and whether it is a private school, but the kind of work they have.
I'll go to the extent of telling the biggest manufacturing industry is that of teachers, because they manufacture the future of a child. आप किसी का future manufacture कर रहे हो. वो एक 10 साल का बच्चा कल को बड़ा होके कोई 35 साल का 40 साल का होके किसी कंपनी का CEO होगा. What kind of values would that child have? Just imagine, जो उसने उस बचपन में सीखा है, जो उस टीचर ने उसको पढ़ाया है, सिखाया है, वही चीज रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा at the age of 40. So you imagine the kind of enormous responsibility that is there on the shoulders of a teacher.
And absolutely, one thing you've spoken about is about the value system. I think it's not about subjects, chemistry, physics, maths. That's totally different. So when I talk about school also, if you have a good tutor, you will be good at chemistry and maths. But what you get from school is totally different. It's about that value system. How do you share? How do you greet? How do you treat people? And I think the first school is your home. As parents,
Absolutely.
children just observe you. I'll talk about my children. मुझे लगता है मेरे बच्चे लोग बोलते हैं they're just like you. Whether they're good or bad, I don't know. But yes, because whatever I do, they follow. That's period. Right? It happens that way. And their second school is their school. So wherein now it is a very important responsibility on the shoulder of our teachers. Believe me, whether they're teaching subjects, whatever subject, but teaching or guiding children how to face this world with that composure, that's very important. And which I think at many places I've seen teachers fail to do that. So that is the reason I'm glad that we have so many teacher training institutes now in place. And our Honorable Prime Minister and the Education Ministry, they're doing a wonderful
They're doing a
work.
marvelous job. They've come up with a new entire system as well.
Absolutely, because they would have realized that life skills are important. And what we were lacking was life skills. So they are now really working on life skills and interest of a child. So I think you have to have that combination between those two things, a balance between these things, and then only child would be happy and would be fruitful for the nation.
Absolutely.
So this is happening now. So I think we all are very happy.
I'll come to a very pertinent question over here. You see, school is a lot of discipline. You know, मैं भी पढ़ा from a school in New Delhi, and fairly a good school, very good school. I'm so glad that I had some wonderful teachers out there. मतलब एक अलग level का discipline होता है वहाँ पे. Now, you aren't allowed the kind of liberty you're allowed after school. When we talk of the pageant industry, where you were flourished like anything.
Yes.
You flourished in the school and you also flourished in the pageant industry.
Yes.
Now, what kind of differences do you see, or what do you think could be incorporated in either of the industries so that both can prosper equally? Because if we talk of a beauty pageant in a school, you will be restricted that very moment, you know.
But I think Sudarshan, times have changed. So here what I realized after being a part of pageant industry, because I'm a coach here, so I see everything. I see how people walk, talk, we do everything together. But what I've realized is that what people think about pageantry is totally different. Once you're a part of it, you realize it's much more than just walking or looking beautiful or just applying makeup. It's much more than that. So right now we are having this pageant going on, and the contestants themselves, they told me that, ma'am, 3 months back we thought, is it okay going for a pageant? But now when we're here, we realize that the kind of sessions we have, it's everything.
It's everything.
We teach them how to hold a glass.
Yeah.
How to hold a spoon and a fork.
Yeah. You know the wine glass, you're never supposed to hold it like this. You're supposed to hold it like
it's
this.
all logic. It's all logic. You know how it is. So there's so many small things. How do you talk to people, which I think is not taught in schools.
Yeah.
So yes, what you're saying is correct.
Schools do lack certain kind of things over there. मुझे ये लगता है कि on my part, I have always believed, schools should teach these kind of, I don't call them soft skills, I call them power skills.
Yes, I don't know why this name soft was, but yes, now you can introduce this word power skills.
So power skills and especially entrepreneurship as well in the school, because हम लोग सुनते हैं कि बाहर, in Western countries and all, 15 साल की उम्र में बच्चा newspaper बेच रहा है. Here it is impossible to imagine. 30 साल का जवान हो जाता है, इंसान और वो फिर भी
parents के साथ रहता है.
And all that. It's a beautiful family system we have over there, unparalleled anywhere in the world. But that sense of responsibility and independence, it should come much, much earlier. जो मुझे लगता है.
So what you're saying is correct. Like when I was staying abroad because of my husband's posting, there is a time I realized, I'll just quote an incident. I was there with grade 11 students. And जैसे मैं इंडिया में बात करती हूँ, मैं वैसे ही बात कर रही थी. मैंने कहा, okay children, so what are your aspirations? They said, what? Aspirations? What is she talking? Believe me, they thought that what is she talking? Because in my country, after grade 9, we only talk about your career, your passion, your aspirations. For them, it was chilling, enjoying life.
Yeah.
And the other difference I realized was whether they come from a rich family or poor family, their parents are very strict. After grade 12, they don't stay with their parents. They have to fend for yourself.
You have to fend for yourself.
Whether you're working in a restaurant or cleaning something, it hardly matters.
Because it hardly matters.
So that is, I think,
it's very important. We need to do that. We
slowly
need to get a little strict over there. And
yes.
we need to start believing. It's not about being strict, but believing that our children can stand up on their own 2 feet.
Yes.
That is the most important thing.
But getting back to your point, which you discussed, that how do you mix or balance pageantry and school, and maybe we can, few good points from here.
Borrow some things from here, borrow something from there.
Absolutely. So what our country is now doing, if you've heard, so many universities, they have finishing academies. So that finishing academy is doing a part of giving them all the life skills. And I think people are really enjoying it because they enjoy in school being taught how to budget your finances. So this was never taught to us. To me, it was like it took me years to understand कि पैसे बचाने कैसे हो, क्या खर्च करने, invest कैसे करने. But now you talk like my children.
It's called financial literacy,
And it is so important. And my son, who's just 19, 20 years old, he's much better than me. He knows how to place.
Oh, believe me, I have a 12-year-old and I think he speaks Japanese. Because the kind of language he uses, it just goes over my head.
Absolutely.
So children are different nowadays. हम लोग बहुत अलग थे अपने माँ बाप के लिए, हमारे माँ बाप उनके माँ बाप के लिए अलग थे.
But I think this generation, I'm really happy about this generation. I find them so smart, so focused and they own what they do.
Yeah.
That is a beauty of
accountable.
it.
Yeah, they
own.
are.
If
Many
it's a
of them
mistake, they'll
actually.
own.
Yeah.
But they're very focused and they know what they want to do in life. And I think I like that part of it.
मैं एक चीज जानना चाहूंगा. How did the transition from a teacher happen to the beauty industry and vice president of Gleam Diva Academy again? A little bit of that one.
So I think this question has been asked by so many people because they're two different worlds.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
When I finished my, when I was working as principal in one of these schools in Jaipur, and after that, my husband got posted to Ukraine. So I had to leave everything and be with him. So we just had 6 months in Delhi, and I told him I will not teach for 6 months. So maybe I would like to get a portfolio made so that my grandchildren tomorrow should know how Dadi looked. So this is what I thought.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
so adventurous. Just imagine.
So I was in my 40s at that time, maybe 45, 46. So I told my husband I want to get a nice portfolio made. So then I got a portfolio made. When I got a portfolio made, the photographer team was like a celebrity.
You must have been amazed.
No, but they said, okay, ma'am, there's one movie coming up. Would you like to do that movie? I said, movie? No way, because we are not from that field at all. So this way the transition happened. I did a small a Bollywood movie also.
And then over there.
It was a good role.
Wow.
It was a good role with 2 songs.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then I was in Ukraine, and there again I was teaching in schools and colleges. But from there I realized that I was enjoying grooming people. So I got connected with Seema Vashishth from Ukraine.
Okay.
And I was grooming the girls online.
Okay.
And then COVID happened, and I came back to India, in Delhi. And I realized I'm really enjoying this grooming part. So it never happened that I just missed that thing from school to school. So I came here. And again, for me, it is like a school.
And once an educationist,
It's like
always an educationist, right?
So I enjoy talking, teaching and counseling, and that they have those emotional outbursts, handling those outbursts. So I think I'm enjoying it.
What is the one thing that you would like to say to our viewers who are teachers, or maybe those who are into teaching profession or into the profession of pageantry and in the beauty industry, the fashion industry, something that is a learning that you have that you would like to share with everyone?
So one thing I would say that one is I would like to congratulate each one of them who is a teacher, because that's a big responsibility, and I'm sure they all are doing it with their heart and soul. But there's no harm in experimenting. I have met so many teachers who tell me that should we do this, should we leave this? Don't leave.
Absolutely. If you don't take a step, it will not happen.
And
if you take a step,
yes,
something will happen.
Very true. So I think everyone should take that step or chance or risk, and believe me, nothing, you'll not lose anything in life. कुछ भी नहीं खोओगे, कुछ पाओगे ही. So that is it.
एक चीज और पूछना चाहूँगा, viewers, when we started our discussion with Seema Vashishth, she said that 30 years ago this happened, and then 20 years ago that happened, and she said when I was 45 years.
I know.
What is the secret to you staying so young and beautiful?
No.
I met you last year and this year again. There's absolutely no change. What do you do to yourself? Is there something that you could share with everyone over here?
No, I think the reason is I'm with Gleam Diva. That gives me all the energy. Look at the gorgeous girls you have.
Yeah.
So I think that gives me real energy. And I would also like to tell you here before anything else that yes, joining Gleam Diva and being a part of Gleam Diva and being with Seema Vashishth was so beautiful, and I never expected it that way. But having so many students and then conducting pageants, we had our pageant last year, Miss and Mrs. India Planet. That was our first pageant. Both of us had our adrenaline rushing, and we were so anxious. How will you do it? And we had no clue how it happens.
Racing experience
whole night we used to be discussing, and you used to be there. This time I'm really happy because we know how it works. We have seen all the loopholes. We know how to correct them,
and the gaps.
Absolutely, and you are there with us, so we are so happy. So this year again we are having it, and by God's grace, this academy is doing well and going international. So that is it. So
what is the one thing that keeps inspiring you? One last question, that's it.
Yes, so I don't know, but somehow my family. I don't know this. How will you relate this answer? But whenever I do any small thing, I have a habit of telling it to my husband and my children. And the kind of support I get from them, that wow, you did this, Seema. I used to think, wow, okay, fine. So that is something which really helps me growing, because the kind of family I'm
today
coming
it is
from.
brand Seema Vashishth, so that's what it's all about.
I don't know whether it's a brand, but yes, I'm very proud of
you ask all
myself
the
and my
contestants over there,
life.
they're going to tell you what it's all about.
Thank you so much. But I think that is one inspiration which I think my family, for sure. Yes.
Thank you so much, Seema ji, for being with us over here. That is Seema Vashishth, who is with us over here, the Vice President of Gleam Diva, and a towering personality. You've seen such a positive and such a vibrant personality she has. She radiates energy, it just oozes out of every pore of her body, and that's what, inspires everybody around her, including me. Keep hanging on to your dreams as well. It's all about, but when we see the great Indian brand show with Sudarshana Chetlur is about you. It's about a brand that is local, and we need to be vocal for that, because if you do not talk about your neighbor, you do not talk about things that are there in your vicinity, you will never be talking about yourself. And we have to start believing in ourselves. We are a superpower with so many local brands and people who are driving change. Just imagine the amount of transformation Seema Vashishth has brought about in the last few years in the lives of so many women. And that's what a brand actually is, and that's what this show is all about. If you are a brand, or if you know of a brand, then please send us the details. We would love to host them over here. Like karo, share karo, subscribe karo, और इस episode को 1000 जगह और दिखाओ. Thank you so much, Sudarshan Ramakrishna Chetlur over here. You're watching the Great Indian Brand Show with Sudarshana Chetlur. We have Seema Vashishth today. We'll be back again with another personality soon. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Darshan. It was fantastic being with you.
It's rocket launching day, right on, it's time to play.